Welcome to CNT Collectibles. I'm C. I hope you are doing well. Today I thought we'd take a look at a few players who are relatively undervalued with the all too early draft data that we're getting. So looking at Fangraphs, you can get draft data, you can get projections and things of that nature. But we thought we'd take a look at just combining a couple of them and see who's being drafted where and combine them with the projections and see, if the market is maybe sleeping on a few guys here. So a few words about that. The Fangraphs data that we're using is the combination of these zips in the steamer and player playing time projections put together by the Fangraphs staff, so as their depth charts production or projections. And the draft data comes in when you download the spreadsheet. It just takes an aggregate of, I think, a bunch of CBS drafts or something like that, and gives you where they're currently going. So again, it's a little bit early for that. These things could certainly change over time, but it's where we're at right now. Dynasty leagues typically don't draft. Right now, they'll have a mid-season draft for rookies. So these are the more hardcore players, and so we're just looking at the yearly leagues on this one here. So we'd start off with an honorable mention here, and that's Oscar Colas, right fielder for the Chicago White Sox. Looks like he's gonna maybe lock down a spot, and if he does that, then he could start creeping up in drafts. But currently, he's going undrafted. He sits in there with players like Anthony Volpe and Jordan Walker, who we looked at during a few weeks ago in one of our player previews, Impact Rookies and Prospects. He could have easily fit on that list, but I didn't know enough about him at the time here, so I can't cover everybody, and as I do some more of this stuff, other names pop up, and that's how it goes. So he's an undrafted player, but in points leagues, he could return, he'll be about the 200th best player overall. Points leagues are leagues where you get a point for doing something well, knocking in a run, getting on base, stealing a base, all that kind of stuff. Roto ranks, those are 5-category leagues typically. Batting average, runs, RBI, stolen bases, and home runs. And so you come up with a differential on there and who's got the biggest difference here. So this is a player that is going undrafted at the current time, but he could return something closer to a mid to later round pick depending on your league. And so I think that represents a pretty good value overall. You can get him in the late, last roundish or something like that. You could have a starting spot. He's a 24-year-old. Pretty fully mature. He's got some swing and miss to his game, but he's also capable of putting up 25 to 30 home runs. And so Fangraphs thinks he could maybe squeeze in 120 games, and maybe he does more than that, which would be a further increase to his value overall. So Oscar Colas, honorable mention. All right, 3 players that could outperform their current draft spot. And we'll start off with Franco. These are all pretty big names here, so I think this could translate to the card market as well. Use it as you see fit. There's a pretty decent correlation, I believe, to player performance on the field, the court, the gridiron, whatever, and their card prices. And so for fantasy, sure, this could be useful, but for cards as well, maybe these are players whose prices aren't really moving and could be of some interest. So Wander Franco, his points rank projection, Fangraphs depth chart has him as about the 21st best player. Roto rank is about the 28th best player. So combine those two, and you take it away from his average draft position of 92. I mean, this is a guy that's going in the 9th or 10th round of drafts that could return, top 2 or 3 round value. So he was injured last year, but he sure has a hitting profile that's enviable. He doesn't strike out a ton, gets on base, a little bit of pop. You're not getting him for home runs or anything like that, but the overall value could certainly be there. So his 2023 Fangraphs depth chart projections have him hitting about 280, runs in RBI are in the 80 range, a 131 weighted runs created, which is an elite level player, 5.1 wins above replacement. So if he is able to put up a elite level season like the projections say, and he's able to stay healthy, you're getting a high level player in the 9th or 10th round overall. Luis Robert comes down to health with this player. I mean, when he's been playing, he's been one of the better hitters in the game overall. So right now, points ranking has him about 40 overall, but the Roto rank has him at 14. So with his speed, he's able to get some stolen bases, and that bumps him up a decent amount in the Roto, and that's where you get that differential. So average draft position right around 50. So you're looking 5th or 6th round. If you average out the points in the Roto rank, you're talking about maybe the 25th best overall player or something like that. And the difference is about 21. So decent value could be had with Luis Robert if you're able to get him If you're able to get him in that fourth or fifth round, Fangraphs projections have him hitting 273 to 87 runs, 92 RBI, 24 home runs, weighted runs created 121, and a 4.5 wins above replacement. So again, a very, very good player. If he plays like he's been playing when he's healthy, he could hit closer to 300. He's that talented. And our last player today that we'll be looking at is Kyle Tucker, who is getting a lot of respect, honestly, but he could be even better than what people think here. Average draft position is around 6 overall. Points league rank 3, Roto rank number 1. This could be the best player in a large amount of fantasy leagues. And what if he's one of the best players in baseball overall? If you look at a couple of years ago, people didn't really think Shohei Ohtani would bounce back the way he did. He ended up winning an MVP. His card prices saw a huge rise. Last year, Aaron Judge put together a full season, won an MVP. And so could Kyle Tucker kind of do the same? He's not really the player that stands out in any individual category, but he does a lot of things really, really well. And so what if he winds up being a top 2 or 3 player? Would that be enough to really get some hobby love for him finally? But at the same time, if you get to the late round of the of any particular draft and he's still on the board, then that may be a decent spot to go for him, because again, you've got that upside to the first overall spot here. Fangraphs projections have him at 270, which seems perhaps a bit light. 32 home runs, 92 runs scored, 121 RBI in that offense that would lead the league. That'd be a big number there according to projections. And he throws in a pretty decent number of stolen bases. So again, he does everything really, really well. Nothing really, the best in the league type thing, but you're looking for well-rounded players in Roto leagues here. 139 weighted runs created, which is an elite level player, and a 5.2 wins above replacement, which would be a terrific season overall. So those are the 3 players that maybe are sneaky draft picks, depending on where you can get them. And hope you enjoyed this. So that's what I got for you. Have a great rest of the day, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.